Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 3 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 3 math, and then click on view all lessons. There you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter fractions of a number, unit fractions. Fractions of a number. Fractions of a number, unit fractions, word problems, and fractions of a number, word problems. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So here I'm on grade 3 math. Chapter we're on right now is operations with fractions. Start with the first lesson, that is fraction of a number, unit fractions. Is 1 by 9 of 9. 1 by 9 of 9 means you need to multiply them. You need to do 9 times 1 over 9. So when you do 9 times 1 by 9, the answer is 1. Hold on. Let's just start with the test questions. What number is 1 by 2 of 6? So you have to do 1 by 2 times 6. You need to do numerator time numerator and denominator time denominator. So 6 times 1 is 6 and 2 times 1 is 2. Now we need to divide 6 by 2. So 2 times what number is 6? 2 times 3 is 6. The correct option is 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. 3. Option number 3 is the correct option. What number is 1 by 9 of 9? So 1 by 9 of 9 means you have to do 9 times 1 is 9 and 9 times 1 is 9. So 9, option number 1 is the correct option. What number is 1/3 of 6? That is 1/3 of 6. 6 times 1 is 6 and 3 times 1 is 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. That is 3 times 2 is 6. Option number 2 is the correct option. 2 it is. The correct option is 2. What number is 1/3 of 9? What is 1/3 by 9? 9 times 1 is 9 and 3 times 1 is 3. That is 3 times 3 is 9. The correct option is 3. That is 3. Option number 3 is the correct option. What is half of 8? That is 1 by 2 times 8. Eight times 1 is 8 and 2 times 1 is 2. That is 4. That is 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. What number is 1/4 of 8? One-fourth of 8. 8 times 1 is 8 and 4 times 1 is 4. That is 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. That is fractions of a number. What number is 7 by 8 of 8? So you need to do 7 by 8 of 8. So 7 by 8 of 8 means you need to 7 by 8 times 8, right? So we have to do 8 times 7 and 8 times 1, but you can add it as 7 by 1 times 8 by 8, right? And we know that 8 by 8 is 1, so we are left with just 7. So 7 by 8 times 7 is 7. The correct option is okay. Let's just start with the test questions. What number is 2/3 of 6? So third of 6, that is 2 by 3 times 6, right? So we need to do 6 times 2 and 3 times 1. So you can write it as 6 over 3. So 3 times 1 is 3 and 3 times 2 is 6. So 2 times 2 is 4. So the correct option is 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 4. What number is 3/5 of 10? You can do 10 by 5 first. 10 by 5 is 2. Then you need to multiply that 2 with 3. The 2 times 3 is 6. This is another way to solve these questions, right? So 6 it is. The correct option is option number 2. What number is 1/3 of 6? That is 2. Option number 2 is the correct option. What number is 4/5 of 10? You need to do 10 by 5, right? So 10 by 5 is 2 and 2 times 4 is 8. The correct option is 8. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 8. What number is half of 10? So which is the correct option? Half of 10 is 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. The correct option is 5. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. That is fractions of a number, unit fractions, word problems. Of the 9 people in line for ice cream, one third want vanilla. How many people want vanilla? So we have to do one third of 9. One third of 9 is 3. The correct option is 3. Let's just start with the test questions. One third of the 6 students in the choir have brown hair. How many students in the choir have brown hair? So we have to do 1 by 3 of 6, right? So that is 6 divided by 3 is 3. That is 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. Oh, 2, it is not 3. Of the 8 students in the playground, one fourth are wearing white shoes. How many children on the playground are wearing white shoes? Son, so one fourth of 8. You have to do 1 by 4 times 8. So 8 times 1 is 8 and 4 times 1 is 4. So the correct option is that is 2. Option number 2 is the correct option. One half of the six people in a restaurant are eating pasta. How many people are eating pasta? So, which is the correct option? Half of six is three. Option number three is the correct option. Of the eight students in the playground, one half want to play kickball. How many students want to play kickball? So, which is the correct option? That is four. Option number two is the correct option. Four it is. One half of the four bowls in the cupboard are yellow. How many yellow bowls are in the cupboard? So, which is the correct option? Option number two is the correct option. That is half of four is two. Option number two is the correct option. There are six people waiting for the train. One sixth of the people have an umbrella. How many people waiting for the train have an umbrella? That is one. Option number one is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just listen. The next lesson is fractions of a number word problem. So let's just start with the lesson. Let's just start with the test questions. There are 6 berries in a bowl on the counter. 2/3 of them are raspberries. How many raspberries are in the bowl? One 2/3 of 6. So you need to do 2 by 3 times 6. So that is 6 times 2 is 12 and 3 times 1 is 3. So the correct option is 4. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is 4. Of the 12 students in the playground, 1/6 are wearing white shoes. How many children on the playground are wearing white shoes? So 1/6 of them are wearing white shoes. So 1 by 6 times 12. So 12 times 1 is 12 and 6 times 1 is 6. So 12 divided by 6 is, that is 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Of the 9 popsicles in the freezer, 1/3 are cherry. How many cherry popsicles are in the freezer? So you need to do 1/3 of 9. So let's just calculate 1 by third of 9. So 9 times 1 is 9, 3 times 1 is 3. So 9 divided by 3 is, 9 divided by 3 is 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. Two-sixths of the 12 trees in the orchard are cherry trees. How many cherry trees are in the orchard? So, two-sixths of 12 times 2 is 24 and 6 times 1 is 6. That is 6 times 4 is 24. So the correct option is 4. Option number 1 is the correct option. Two quarters of the 8 students in the choir have brown hair. How many students in the choir have brown hair? So which is the correct option? That is 4. Option number 1 is the correct option. Of the 4 trucks at the local dealership, one half are red. How many red trucks does the dealership have? That is 2 because half of the 4 is 2. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 3 math. Chapter we were working on is operations with fractions. The lessons we have covered today are fractions of a number unit fractions, fractions of a number, fractions of a number unit fractions word problem, and fractions of a number word problems. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework. And if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you. Or either you can box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So, any questions you can please ask if you have any. No questions. But I can't see your messages in the chat section from my phone. Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the